baddest DJ.
I've been walking beneath streetlights. I've been walking, cause I can't find peace on these nights. I've been walking, but my strides are getting slower. Still I'm walking, but I don't know where I'm going. I've been looking for love, but only found deception. Told my secrets to some people who have not kept them.
Hey, this is Jared, and I'm back. Hey, I'm coming to you live. I'm the host of Warriors Quest, Jared A. Brown. Okay, I picked that song. That's a hot joint by Elephant Funeral, Walking. And the reason why I picked that joint is because it talks about walking, not know where you're going, and that fits, okay, the mentality of being a kidney disease warrior. Okay, you're walking, you're looking for somebody, but you don't know where you're going. All right, I'm looking for a kidney donor. All right, I'm looking for a kidney donor for a kidney disease warrior tonight, and I'm coming at you live. All right, I'm so excited to do this tonight. Okay, we've got another very exciting special guest tonight. All right, and I'm so excited to bring on this kidney warrior. All right, she hails from Oxford, North Carolina. She lives in Greensboro, North Carolina now. And I'm going to give her a very special introduction, okay, Deanna Satterwhite. And I'm going to give her a very special introduction. Deanna, welcome to Warriors Quest.
Hi, everybody.
We are live, man. I'm so excited. Man, this is so exciting. I'm so glad to have you on Warriors Quest. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm super, man. I'm so excited to have you on. Thanks for coming. All right, introduce yourself. Tell our followers where you're from. Give us an idea of how you come to get kidney disease, and let's get this rolling, man. I'm so excited to get your story out there.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. Doesn't already know. I'm Deanna Satterwhite. Don't really know what to say about me. I'm a student currently. I just started back 2 years ago, which was right after I found out I got accepted, and then I found out I had kidney disease. But yeah, so here I am now, looking for a donor, B positive blood type.
Very nice. Be positive. I like that. So when did you find out? How long has it been since you found out you had kidney disease?
Well, actually, I found out I had high blood pressure first, and it was actually a recommendation from my endocrinologist. My diabetic doctor, she wanted me to start seeing a nephrologist, a kidney doctor, or kidney specialist. And so then I went to start seeing them, and that's when they told me that I had high blood pressure. And they told me once I got my blood pressure under control, then it was a possibility that my kidney failure would reverse. So I got my blood pressure under control, but my kidney failure did not reverse. It actually went down a lot faster. And I went from having stage 3 to straight to stage 5. And then I found out once I started doing, once I started going to the doctor, I found out that I would have to start dialysis within the next year. So I found out in March of 2017 that I would have to start dialysis. But then later that summer, I kept getting sick and I noticed I was gaining weight. And I went to the ER and I found out I had pneumonia. But the reason I had pneumonia is because I was regaining fluid because I was no longer urinating.
Right.
So they told me when I was at the hospital that I had to start dialysis right then before I left the hospital. And so I had just had my port put in my arm about 2 weeks prior to me finding out that I had pneumonia. And so since it was still premature, they couldn't use it and they had to put a port in my chest. So that was how I found out. And I actually had to start in August of 2017 instead of January 2018 as planned.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that port, so you've got a catheter then, or do you have a fistula now?
I used to have a catheter. It was in my chest. It was like 2 tubes that was hanging out of my chest. And that was how they did my dialysis all the way up until mid-December. And then I went back, and by then they said my port had healed okay. And they took the catheter out of my chest. That's what these are in my arm. That's my fistula. A lot of people always ask me, what's that on your arm? What happened to your arm? But it's my fistula. So, yeah.
Right. The conversation starter, that's for sure, right?
Yeah, I get asked all the time, what happened to your arm? What happened to your arm? And then I get questions about the scars in my chest, and they ask, what happened to your chest? And I have to tell them what happened. So, yeah.
All right. So, man, that's a lot at once. So it actually escalated pretty quickly for you.
Yeah, it did.
Was it because of your high blood pressure that your GFR, changed so quickly?
I think it was, even though once I got it under control, I think it was already too late and my body had already just started declining, even though I had started to do better. Yeah.
So how did that make you feel to have that? What was your, reaction, and how did that make you feel to go from, such a, a feeling where you might have to go to dialysis to all of a sudden they're putting a port in you and you're having to radically go to dialysis?
At first I was kind of sad, but then later on I was worried and terrified because I had just found out in January that I was going back to school. So my biggest thing was, how am I going to manage this and school at the same time? So that's what I was really worried about. And I was worried about what clinic I was going to be going to and things like that, because I didn't know anybody in Greensboro who was dealing with it. I knew people back home that were dealing with it, but I didn't know anybody here. So I didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't know what questions to ask or anything like that. So it was kind of like an emotional roller coaster for a while.
It is. Right. That's exactly what it is. It's a roller coaster, isn't it? I mean, you've got all sorts of emotions going around, and, and the frustrating thing from many kidney warriors that I've interviewed, their reaction is that when they're told that they have to go on dialysis, is that the information that's given to them, did they give you, what kind of information did they give you in regards to, do you have options in regards to what form of dialysis you can go on, and what was going to happen like when you went on dialysis?
Well, at first they didn't really tell me much. They just said, expect to start, and you're going to start in a couple days. And I'm just like, okay, so then what? So it was kind of just like, as you go, you learn type thing. They weren't really telling me much at first. I actually didn't learn much about dialysis until I was on dialysis. And that was mostly from my own personal research because nobody was telling me anything. So I pretty much had to teach myself a lot of things.
Right.
So thank God for the internet, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know a lot of stuff. about it. And a couple of people
That's
that I
right.
know.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. Right. Great. That's good to hear that you're being a self-advocate, because so many kidney warriors, they have to be their own advocate, because sometimes what happens, is that these kidney dialysis centers, they only give you so much information, because
Right.
sometimes they're so focused on doing their job that they just do what they think is their job. They're going to dialyze you, and they're going to cannulate you, but they don't give you education,
Yeah, it's
and they get so
disconnected.
focused on dialyzing that they don't get
Yeah.
the information. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like really
you know
disconnected. It's more
so
like,
it's so important.
go ahead.
Right. No, that's totally right. There's a disconnect, right?
Yeah. It's like it's more so they're worried about being professional than they are putting it into the patient's perspective. So we're just kind of like up in the air, like, okay, so what do we do now? And they're just like, oh, well, do this, or this is what you have to do. And then you're just like, okay, and you have no choice but to do it, but you don't know why you're doing this or how it got to this point. So, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Right. When we got it's I'm so proud of my baby. Mama loves you. That's a good comment right there. That's awesome.
Love you, mommy.
And we've got Angel Winland. Hey, Deanna Satterwhite.
Hey.
All right, we got some people tuning in. Thanks as well to Joseph Patterson for tuning in. Diane Eaton, Tony Green, Deborah Oakley. All right, so we've got some people already coming in and watching. Joseph Patterson's asking, does she know about home dialysis? Have you looked at, I think I maybe already asked you this offline, but have you looked at home dialysis already?
I have, but I actually didn't want to do that because I know someone who actually did it for a while and he stayed sick a lot. So I don't really want to go that route though. I was thinking about it. I still think about it sometimes, but it's just the fear of like me having that tube in my stomach. I just don't want anything connected to me constantly. And of course the fear of being sick all the time. So
Yeah.
I didn't really want to deal with that.
Okay. All right. All right. I get that. Some people want that sort of disconnect where if they feel like if they have home dialysis, then it's constantly part of them where there's, it's always, part of their life 24/7, and it's
Right.
sometimes good have some sort of balance where you feel like you've got a disconnect where you can have some sort of normalcy. So, other kidney warriors have said that same thing where they want to have some sort of, cutoff where if they go to kidney dialysis in center, then at least they know that they can focus on the dialysis there and then focus on their own personal life, when they go home, and have some sort of cutoff.
Yeah.
So I get that. Some people feel that way as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got some other people watching. We've got Lisa Baxter watching. Lisa Baxter is a kidney warrior who was on dialysis for over 12 years. She has PKD. She's host of the show, the Lisa Baxter Show on the Urban Kidney Urban Kidney Outreach Media Network as well. Thank you for watching, Lisa. So, you know, uh, Joseph Patterson saying that he knows somebody who he's very close to, someone that he was connected to in a very dear way. Okay, who's passed away, Roxy. She's passed on. God bless you, Roxy. Rest in peace. All right, she was on Next Stage. And so he's giving a lot of information because he feels as though she did very well on the Next Stage hemodialysis. Thanks for again watching for Joseph. Thanks for watching the show, Joseph. And Elisa Baxter's chiming in. My sisters did both. And so people, many people have done both. So it's kind of a preference thing. Modality. What form of dialysis you choose really depends upon what's good for you. So
Right.
when you go to dialysis, has that given you some sort of disconnect where you feel like maybe when you go, you've got some good people, some technicians and a nurse that focus on you, and then you can go home and then you can have some sort of personal life?
Yes. Um, I feel like I prefer it over doing it at home because I know with it, I don't think I would have enough discipline to do it at home because one, you have to be really clean. And I think I would do it at home if I had someone that could stick me instead of having the tubes in my stomach. I would do that. But otherwise, I don't think I would really consider it. But yeah, going to the center, I definitely feel like I have a personal life once I leave. It's like, okay, it's over. I don't have to think about that anymore. So yeah, I would say yes.
All right, I feel you. All right, so I've got some other people are chiming in right here, and we've got some people watching. So thank you for watching, everybody. Deanna's story is very precious to me, and I'd like everybody to share this so we can get more information out there. So let's make some noise. All right, I want to hear some. I want to listen to some comments. Please make some noise. Please comment. All right, so we can get this going, and please share this. All right, I'd like to get more people in the comment section, and more people commenting, the more we can get this out there and share this. Please click on the share button. So Deanna, let's get your story going. I really like, the fact that you've overcome so much. All right, when did you find out that you were type 1 diabetes?
I found out when I was 12. And I am 27 now.
All
I'll be
right, 12
28
years
this
old.
year.
What?
So yeah, I found out
Yeah.
after I had got chickenpox. So that was the reason why I ended up being type 1 was from the chickenpox virus.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
And so how did you find out that you had chickenpox? Did you just all of a sudden start scratching and you had, some marks on your skin, or what
Well, when
happened?
I was in fifth grade, we were responsible for reading to the fourth graders. And this particular girl that I was reading to was the girl that had chickenpox in that class. And she had spread it to her entire
Did
class.
she infected
And that was
you?
actually how we found out. So we had to stop reading to them. And surprisingly, I wasn't one of the first kids to get chickenpox. I was one of the last kids to get chickenpox, even though I was reading to the little girl who had it first in her class. So that I felt like that was kind of weird, but that was how I found out. And then shortly after that, I found out I had cataracts and I had to start wearing glasses, and everything just started to go from there pretty much.
All right. Okay, so you found out that, from chickenpox that you had diabetes, and, and you've had some, when you found out you had diabetes, how did that affect you as a child? Did it make your childhood any different than other people?
Um, Not really. I would say it only made it different in school because I had a lot of teachers treat me like I was handicapped, like it was some kind of handicap. And I don't know, but it's like my classmates respected it. And they was kind of like, oh, she's sick. They didn't ask a whole lot of questions. They asked more questions now that we're older. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say it really affected my childhood too much because my mom was really doing all my shots. And then my granddad, he was type 2. So I grew up watching him take care of his diabetes, but it didn't really affect my childhood that much.
Okay. So when you had did you have like diabetic episodes when the insulin and everything was a little off, or what happened during your childhood where you had to control your diabetes?
I would say yes, but I think that I wasn't aware of it not working that well because there'll be times where, because I had just started coming home by myself, and there'll be times when my mom would come home. She would always tell me to put the chain on the door when you get there. So I would, okay, so I put the chain on the door, and I would be asleep on the couch, and she would be banging on the door, and I wouldn't hear her because I was probably in some kind of diabetic coma, and I didn't know it. And that happened a lot, but I just felt tired.
Right.
I just thought it was normal. And then she was like, I've been out here for 45 minutes banging on the door. What are you doing? I was like, I was asleep. And so, yeah, but I think that was the only time that I
Right.
has had signs of it affecting me or not working, or my insulin not working with my body properly. But other than that, no. And then it happened another time later in life when I was 23. I actually had a stroke because once again, that same insulin I had been on since I was 12 had stopped working for my body, and I ended up having a stroke. And my blood sugar had reached, I think it was almost 2,000, I believe that's what they said. And I was on life support for 3 hours. And
Oh my
yeah, and I had
goodness.
stopped breathing on
Three
the way. Yes,
hours?
I had stopped breathing on the way to the hospital. And so, yeah, that was the second time that's ever happened to me where my insulin had stopped working for my body and
Oh
I had to
my
be put on another
gosh.
one. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm
You are on
serious.
life support?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Talk about being an overcomer. Wow. So, man, so this all happened, and were you're probably thinking, okay, you came like out of some sort of you woke up maybe from being unconscious, and they had to explain everything in regards to what happened to
Yeah.
you, or how was your diet? Was that part of your diabetic episode where you were like you just kind of fuzzy and you couldn't understand what was going on, or?
When I remember waking up and seeing people coming in my hospital room. So I wasn't really fuzzy. I wasn't aware that I wasn't talking, but I thought I was talking to the people that were coming in the room. But no, not really. It wasn't
Okay.
really fuzzy, but I could tell that something was wrong leading up to it because I would be at the time I was in school then the first time, and I would be walking to class and my vision would
All
go
right.
black, but I would still be walking. I'm like, something's wrong, but I didn't know what it was. And then
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was a whole lot of signs, but I kept ignoring the signs.
Well, a lot of us do. Oh my gosh. I mean, if that's, sometimes we sometimes overlook what's happening to our bodies.
Yeah.
We know our bodies more than other people. So don't get me wrong, but sometimes, we see these little things that happen and we sometimes overlook them because okay, we think that okay, this couldn't be happening to me or this is just something small. And oh my gosh, I'm a man, all right? And I'm thinking, okay, I better be bleeding before I go to the ER, right? So I get you, okay? You know, I understand. I mean, I've got siblings, okay, that have gout. I've got siblings that are diabetic. My father was diabetic. Type 2 though, not type 1. And then I've got some siblings that have asthma. And so sometimes it has to do with genes. So with being type 1 diabetic, is that something that is in with your, like, is that hereditary? Do you have some other siblings or family that have type 1?
No, type 1 is actually not hereditary, even though my granddad was type 2. Type 1,
It's not at
not at all.
all.
Type
Okay.
1 actually comes from a virus. So it could be any viral infection, like a blood infection. My case, it was chicken pox, the flu, pneumonia, anything like that where it's a viral infection in your body can cause you to have diabetes, no matter who you are, no matter what your size is. A lot of people think that only fat people get diabetes, but that's not true because I'm not fat. But yeah, no, type 1 is not
No.
hereditary.
Okay. Right.
Only type 2 is hereditary.
Boom. Mythbusters. I like that. Okay. Busting those myths. And then we're also setting it straight. You're talking about, all right, how it isn't hereditary. You're talking about how it can move forward because of maybe something like chickenpox. Let's explain that, but chickenpox, right? I mean, it's something that happens, something that happens like a virus, okay?
Yeah.
And so, man, it sounds like it's like acute, kind of like with kidney disease. Sometimes, it's either chronic, like or it happens over time, or it's acute. With
Yeah.
yours, it happened where the type 1 diabetes happened because it was acute because of the virus in it, and that's what kind of more or less pushed it to have you be type 1 diabetic. Man, it's amazing. I'm learning something. This is awesome. Oh, so Lisa's saying my mom was diabetic. 3 siblings, dad, 4 siblings had PKD. So, man, we've got several people here watching. We've got 21 people watching right here. So thank you. Continue to please share this with your friends and family. Share this with Facebook groups. Share this with Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can, so we can get this story of hope out there for Deanna. So with being type 1 diabetic, moving forward, did you go on some sort of pump, or how did how did you get insulin?
How did I get what?
How did you get insulin? Did you use a pump, or how did you get that on a regular basis?
I actually didn't use a pump. Even though since I was younger when I got it, my doctor recommended it to me, but they still tried to get me on it. But no, right. I started off using the vials of insulin, the little bottles, and the syringes. I started off with that until I want to say I was about 18 or 19. And then I started using the insulin pens where the insulin comes in a pre-filled pen, like this. And then you just put the
Yeah. All right.
needle on
Show us.
top.
Yeah. I want to
But
put you solo
yeah, that's how I
so
get
other
my
people
insulin.
can see that. All right. Can you show that pen again? Will you show that pen again, Deanna?
And it's just like has a little
All
cap.
right. All right.
You take it
And
off, and then
so,
at the bottom you can dial it to whatever dose.
all right. Okay. Whatever dose you have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Cool. Interesting. All right. So we've got also Tony Green. Thank you, Tony, for listening. Learn something new about bios triggering type 1 or other things like that in the Strength You Show True Warrior. Very nice. Thanks for watching, Tony. We've got some amazing people that are watching right now. They're giving you some comments and watching. How does that, what kind of hope and how does that make you feel that people are giving you support there, Deanna?
Good actually. I didn't think nobody actually paid attention to what I be saying on Facebook and stuff like that. So it actually makes me feel good.
Yeah, it does. It is. It's so awesome to be part of a community. We've got 26 people watching right now, and I got to tell you, that's more than our average. The Warriors Quest show, sometimes we get some on an average or anywhere from around 12 to 15 people watching on an average. We've had up to 50 people, over 50 people watching, and we've had a record-breaking show just recently, 2 weeks ago. So right now we've got 24 people watching. That's a great viewing right now. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and you've got a great turnout right now. This is actually more than average, Deanna. That's awesome. I mean, come on, do a little dance. Come on. That's right. Okay, we've got it going. All right, so I want to see some more people share. I want to get this place going. All right, let's make some noise. All right, make some noise. Please comment. All right, I know there's some other kidney warriors watching that maybe are going through some similar things. Maybe some other kidney warriors obviously are doing in-center dialysis. Some other kidney warriors that are also, are type 1 diabetic. We've got many people that are going to be watching that are going through some similar things that Deanna can relate with. That's what makes it really, really awesome about being part of a community, Deanna, is that many people go through similar things. And what happens is that when we can connect with many people that are going through similar things, it's awesome because that way they actually, all right, we feel like we're not alone, right? Okay,
Right.
when you feel like you're not alone and other people are going through the same thing, it makes you feel stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big guy, but man, I feel like the Hulk when other people are. I feel like the freaking Green Hulk when I'm not alone. I've got like an army behind me, right?
Yeah.
And that's what this kidney disease community is we're a big army. we've got people that are surrounding you right now. We've got 25 people. I'd like to have more people watch. So please share this so we can get this show going, make it go viral, make this rock. All right, I'm going to try to bring some more energy, but we need this going. But right, I love the color that you're wearing. I said this before. You said that's one of your favorite colors. I like that. It's positive. It's vibrant. What are some things that you do to keep yourself positive, keep your lovely smile going?
Anything that keeps my mind off of it. I watch YouTube. I like to watch a lot of DIY videos, do-it-yourself videos. I like watching hair videos, makeup videos, dancing videos. What else? I like to watch other creators like on YouTube. People who are comedians. I love to watch Hulu,
laughing
Netflix.
Is good, huh?
Yeah, read.
All right.
And when school is in, do homework. That's not my favorite though, but that's what I do to pass time to keep my mind busy.
All right, laughing's good medicine. We all know that. Who do you laugh at? Who are maybe your favorite comedians?
Off the top of my head, I really can't think of anybody because I watch a lot of people. I
put you on the spot.
I don't know.
Kevin Hart?
I do watch him, but he's not one of my favorites, but I do watch him. I like Beat Simone. I Am Zoe. Who else? I Am Desi Banks. I watch a lot of people. I also like to watch a lot of shows about people who are like struggling with certain things like addiction, health, and things like that too.
Right on. I like that too because the cool thing is I get sucked in. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? My wife will say, I tell my wife I'm not gonna watch The Bachelorette or I'm not gonna watch The Bachelor, but I get sucked in. All right, I do. And all right, I'll start commenting on, that guy's a bad guy, and blah blah blah, and I start commenting. And what happened? What I mean? It's like what happens is we get sucked in because reality TV. Okay, we connect with them because we see their emotions, we see what's going on, we see their facial expressions. Like you see this goofy guy named Jared A. Brown right now, and you see how passionate he is, and and what happens is we see what he's doing, and that's what happens like when we're doing the show right now, Deanna, is that I want people to see your face. I want people to see your emotions, and by having people share this and to see your broadcast, okay, people get to see how you look. They see your facial expressions, and people can see that you're a real person looking for a living kidney donor. And I'm excited about showing that because it can be a struggle. What are some ways that it's been a struggle for you?
What are some struggles that I have?
Yes.
My biggest struggle right now, since I've kind of like finally processed everything, is still just getting up early to go to dialysis right now. That's my biggest struggle because that is the hardest thing, trying to get up. All
right.
Especially if you don't feel well that morning and you're like, oh, I still got to go because I'm going to feel worse if I don't go. But that's my biggest struggle right now.
Right.
Trying to go and be on time sometimes. And sometimes when I don't feel well, I'm late. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, it's tough to get up for something that maybe isn't the most enjoyable thing.
Right.
And so for people that aren't connected to kidney disease, that aren't actually a kidney disease patient, or people that aren't a caregiver that don't see that for their loved one, okay, explain to us why that isn't so pleasant. Talk to us maybe about the 15 gauge needles, or talk to us about maybe having been maybe cannulated wrong, or maybe, they all of a sudden there's some bleeding that may happen, or talk to us about maybe something that maybe isn't so pleasant at dialysis.
Well, it's a lot of things that aren't so pleasant. First off, the needles, the size needle that I'm on is three different sizes. I'm not sure which one I'm on now, so don't ask because I
All
don't
right,
know.
all right.
But the
Okay.
size of the needle
All right, all
to
right.
put it in perspective to like an actual object, the needle is about as long as the teeth on a fork. So it's about that long of a needle that's going in my arm
Uh-huh.
every 3 days a week. So that's the worst part. And then there's times when, like you said, being cannulated wrong, or you have that one tech who's new or still training and they don't really know what they're doing, but they have to stick you to get that practice in. But you can still
Yeah.
request to have someone else stick you, but that's
Uh-huh.
bad. And
Right.
then sometimes at the end of treatment, when they pull
Sure.
your needle, and then your arm can bleed and your clothes will get messed up. So don't wear anything. I never wear anything. I'm worried about getting messed up in there. Or sometimes my arm bleeds for as long as an hour after treatment. Sometimes if I'm stuck wrong, or if my needle is pulled wrong, if there's too much pressure put on my arm when I'm holding it, because I have to hold it or I have to clamp it, and sometimes the clamp doesn't always work, so I have to end up
Uh-huh.
holding it, sitting there literally holding it like this. So yeah, that's the unpleasant thing. Another
Literally,
unpleasant
right.
thing is the machines beat. Those machines are really loud. They are really loud. So if you can't sleep
Uh-huh.
through everything, that's not the place to try to take a nap. But eventually you get used to it and you'll be able to sleep through it. But yeah. And it's really cold. So I keep a blanket and a pillow. It's always
Yeah.
cold in there.
Okay.
So yeah.
You come prepared, right? And so you come with a blanket, you come prepared, right?
Yes. Always come prepared. Snacks,
All right, all
blanket.
right. So, man, absolutely. Okay, all right. Yeah, and so Steve's saying right here, Steve Belcher, he's saying it's 4 sizes of needles. So there are many sizes of needles. You may not be you're not sure exactly what size of needle they may be using right now,
Right.
but it's large, right? I mean, come on, for some of these people that aren't familiar with it, those are pretty large
Yeah.
needles, right? All right, so it sounds like you have a fistula now, though, right?
Right.
You have a fistula?
Right.
All right. Is it okay if you show that fistula now to our viewers,
Sure.
followers?
I don't want to
All
lean the
right.
wrong way. Okay. Okay, there we go.
All right. I'm going to put you solo. Hold on. All right,
Yeah.
there we go.
This is my fistula. This was the first
Okay.
one that I had placed and it clogged. And this is the one that I use now. So when they stick me, I can either have one needle going up at the top here and one going down, or I can have them both going up. So one will be up here and up there. So yeah, and then that's my scar
Mm-hmm.
right there on the inside. It didn't heal too well because, of course, I'm a diabetic. So I scar really bad, as you can see.
Right. Okay. Sure.
So yeah.
That's not bad, though. That's not bad at all. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not very bad, not at all. I've seen worse, and man, what you're going through, having been through a stroke. I mean, come on, man. Man, I am so impressed by your strength and endurance. You've been through so
Thank
much for
you.
such a young age. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Mm, Man, we've got some other people. We've got some other people watching right here. Lisa Baxter is also saying hers is small. Mine grew fast, but still works. So she says right here, I called mine a sword. So there are some other people that have had, they've had fistulas that make their arm, look much different than yours, man. You're a beautiful young woman. You've been through
Thank
so
you.
much. You're welcome, man. It's amazing that you've gone through a stroke. You're type 1 diabetic, which alone, that's what people sometimes don't understand, all right, is that when kidney warriors have kidney disease, okay, they don't just take on kidney disease because they generally have kidney disease because of underlying issues like
Right.
diabetes, Okay.
Yeah.
So on an off day, you're still worrying about diabetes. All right. And so
Yeah.
your diabetes is alone is a full-time job. And then all of a sudden you're worrying about kidney disease. That's two things health-wise you've got to think about. All right. And watch as far as levels, statistics, so on and so forth. And then you had a stroke. I mean, please, followers, comment because this lady Deanna, give her mad props. All right, boom, because you're killing it right now with endurance and strength. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Man, and even Lisa Baxter says right here, you don't look like what you've been through. So, man, exactly, you don't. You're coming off there like right now with, pretty strong. You're a kidney warrior through and through. And yeah, exactly, right. That's exactly right. And Steve Belcher, who's the owners of Urban Kidney Alliance, is asking. I need to talk with her, and so oftentimes what we do is when we find somebody who's intriguing and has such a great story, we often try to find out if you're open to being on other shows on the Urban Health Outreach Media Network. And Steve Belcher is the producer of the Urban Health Outreach Media Network, and one of the owners of Urban Kidney Alliance. It sounds like he'd like to have you, on another one of our shows. So, if you're open to that, we'd love to give you some more exposure that way as well. Okay.
Of course. Okay.
All right. So, Crystal Spencer's watching. She's definitely one of the strongest people I know. That's awesome. Thanks for watching,
Hey,
Crystal.
Crystal.
Nice. All right. So being type 1 diabetic, oftentimes people, and we talked about this offline, or I'm going to show one more comment very briefly first. So you're so strong, babe. Jessica, thanks for watching. Yeah. Hi, Jessica. All right. So many people that are type 1 diabetic, they're also asked if they will become, a sort of a candidate, okay, to be for a simultaneous transplant for a pancreas and a kidney. All right, we talked about this offline, right, Deanna? But what did your doctors tell you about? What kind of information did they give you about becoming a candidate for a simultaneous transplant?
The first thing that they told me was that if I do the simultaneous transplant, my diabetes will also be taken care of because I will now have a working pancreas because with type 1, your pancreas doesn't work. So that was one thing. And then they also said, and with the kidney, of course, I wouldn't have to go to dialysis. I wouldn't be retaining fluid. And number one, I'll be urinating again. But because a lot of people ask me that too.
Don't underestimate
and,
urinating.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't know that I actually don't really go anymore. But yeah, so my doctor told me that was the first thing that I was told. And then the second thing I was told was that if I do the simultaneous transplant, I'll be bumped higher on the list. And I was like, that's nice and all, but I was like, no, I don't want to have. My biggest fear was having double rejection, like, and having a scar right here and one in my abdomen. I didn't want that either because I scar really ugly. And two, I'm at 3. They said that it's a higher risk of infection and it's also a higher risk of rejection if you do the double transplant. So I didn't really want to do that. So I was like, no, I'll just take the kidney. I'll just deal with diabetes. I've been dealing with this long. To me, I don't have a problem with dealing with the diabetic side. For me right now, the kidney part is the harder part to me personally. But I know it's not the same for everybody. But yeah, that's what I was told. That was all that they really told me about the double transplant, and that was all really. Still, that's it.
All right, I like that vibe. Your emphasis is on finding the kidney. So that's you. Do you, right? You do you.
Yeah.
We've got some great people watching. So Shakira Hawkins is watching. She said everything's going to fall into place. So, we've got some great followers, some people that are supporting you. What's up, Shakira? So we've got, yeah, what's up? Man, again, I'm going to ask some people to make some noise. All right, I'm going to put that comment up there one more time. Boom, Let's make some noise. Please comment. All right, we've got some great people, great comments already. Let's keep this going. You know, we're talking about your diabetes. We're talking about kidney disease and how it's affecting you. And you've had a stroke. You've overcome so much. So right now, moving forward, you're going to dialysis 3 times a week. You've got a fistula. How are you feeling on a regular basis? Because this is one of the things, okay, that drives me literally insane. Okay. All right, Deanna, is that some people, all right, think because kidney warriors sometimes don't look sick. All right. It makes me sick to hear that people think that kidney warriors don't look sick. All right. So one of the things I really focus on trying to do is trying to get you to explain how this disease makes you feel. So talk about maybe the fatigue, fogginess of memory, and how this affects you on a regular basis. Okay.
Um, well, I am tired a lot. I mostly sleep. So if I'm not sleeping, then I'm eating and then I'm sleeping again. But so dialysis really does make me tired and it makes me really cold because if you think about it, they're literally playing with my blood. So that will make you
Right.
cold. And I'm
Uh-huh.
already anemic, so that makes it really worse. But I do try to nap while I'm in there when I'm on the machine.
All
And
right.
sometimes, again, like I said, it's hard because the machines are really loud. So occasionally the machine will beep and the tech will have to come over and press the button on the machine, which they can't always do because sometimes they're going on break and stuff like that. But I'm tired a lot. I can't even lie. I'm always tired. And that's usually what holds me back from doing certain things. And cramping, the body cramps are so bad. So bad that sometimes I can't even stand up.
Oh my
But
gosh, I forgot about that.
yeah,
Cramps can be so bad for
yeah,
kidney warriors.
really bad. Like my entire body, not just one spot. Sometimes it's my arms, and I can't even like hold my phone. Sometimes I can't hold
Uh-huh.
my hand because I be cramping so bad.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so yeah, that makes it really hard. Besides the being tired is the cramping. For me, those are the biggest issues I have.
Wow. Yeah, I've forgotten about the cramps. Many kidney warriors get that.
Yeah.
Even they get it in their hands, right?
Yeah, it's really bad when it's in your hands. You can't grip things. That's the worst
Uh-huh.
feeling. It's like a numb pain at the same time, if that makes sense. But that's exactly what it feels
Yeah.
like. And then sometimes if
Wow.
I'm sleeping, I can be sleeping and catch a whole body cramp and it'll wake me up and I can't go back to sleep. And then I try to walk it off and I can't stand up. So sometimes it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, some people, if you've ever had like restless leg syndrome or
That's
Charlie
exactly what it
horses.
feels like.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, I get sometimes cramps in my feet, so I can only imagine how frustrating it is because when you got a
Yeah.
cramp, it's like you're trying everything just to try to loosen like my foot. I'm trying
Yeah.
everything I can to loosen my foot when it's cramping up, but it's difficult and it
Yeah.
hurts. And so I'm thinking,
Yeah.
man, I'm trying to drink enough water, but this is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Deborah Oakley talking, she's commenting. And Kevin, thanks for watching. Let me bring that up again. Kevin's from all the way from Idaho. I'm forgetting what city in Idaho. Forgive me, Kevin, but he says his hands and legs are the worst with cramps. So he feels you, sister. He's got cramps too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it
Yeah.
it it feels good. Okay, it's great to have support, and when you feel like other people, all right, are understanding you and they relate to what you're talking about. How does that make you feel when you understand other people are going through similar things?
Um, I wouldn't say good. It kind of makes me sad because I feel like we shouldn't have to deal with this, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it makes me not feel alone. I put it that way.
Right. Exactly. Right. I mean, there is so much more we can do about kidney disease awareness. There's so much more that we can do about preventing diabetes, preventing type 2, more especially type 2 diabetes. More, so much more we can do about preventing high blood pressure. there's so much more that we can do to kind of make sure that we prevent this from going on, and make sure that we don't have these things popping up like Walgreens or 7-Elevens, dialysis
Yeah.
centers. Right. So I feel you, because, it literally makes me sad to think that these dialysis centers are popping up, like popcorn, or like this, or like a Walgreens or what have you, because there's so much more awareness that we could do by educating people and giving people knowledge. We can help people and prevent that from happening, so that we don't have people dialyzing, or at least minimize it, right?
Right.
All right. So Kevin's telling me he's from Donnelly. All right. So I'm not sure if that's in and around Boise, or if that's in and around Idaho Falls, Pocatello. But I'm from Hooper, Utah, which is about 40 miles north of Salt Lake City. And so thanks for watching, Kevin. And we've got Lisa Baxter saying, rub it out, massage it. Don't let them take so much fluid off. So there's some more advice from a kidney warrior herself. She's a kidney transplant recipient. She has PKD though, so it's a little bit different. But man, she's gone through so much herself. She was on dialysis for 12 years. Isn't that crazy? She was on dialysis for 12 years.
That's a really long time.
Yes, she went through
really
so
long
much. She
time.
still goes through so much. She does a show. Thanks for watching, Lisa. She does a show on the Urban Health Outreach Media Network called The Lisa Baxter Show. She has her own YouTube channel. She's from New York. And then Kevin Lute, he's saying it's 2 hours from Boise by McCall. Okay, it's from McCall. I know where the McCall is. It's a ski resort town, man. And then Lisa, she's from the New York metropolitan area. So I want to talk a little bit more about how this disease makes you feel. You've talked about the cramping. You've talked about the fatigue. What are some ways that maybe you've had to learn how to maybe change your diet? Some people talk about the renal diet. Some people focus more on just taking binders to make sure they're compliant. What have you done to maybe change the way you eat and to try to make yourself feel better?
A lot, but the binders don't always work the way that you think they would. But I actually have to follow 3 different diets. That's diabetic,
right.
high blood pressure, and the renal diet, which is high blood pressure and the renal kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, it's a lot of things I can't have anymore. No foods high in potassium, no foods high in phosphorus.
That's a lot,
of
right?
course, being that I'm diabetic, I can't have a lot of carbs. I can't have a lot of sugar. So yeah, it's a lot to consider when eating. Like even when my mom comes to see me here in Greensboro and I be telling her things I found out, or if I find something out that day, I'll send it to her. And she was like, I'm so proud of you for doing your research and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I kind of have to, because I have to know what I'm eating, because if I don't, it'll literally make me sick or it'll make me hurt. And then there's certain foods that have water in it. I can't have too much of that because that's fluid, and I can't have many ounces of fluid a day. So that makes it hard too. So like I said, don't take urinating for granted, because there's people out here like me who have to watch what foods we eat that have fluid in them, how much we drink and stuff like that. Like it's a lot to think and it's a lot to remember every day. Like, I forgot I can't have too much of that or too much of this. So it's a lot.
That is a lot. So, man, how long has it been since you've had like a cola? Because you can't have dark colored sodas, right? Because that's
no
phosphorus,
dark sodas,
phosphate. Yeah.
Right, phosphate and the caffeine. So if you're diabetic, you're not supposed to have caffeine, because caffeine will raise your blood sugar. Even if it's a diet caffeinated soda, the caffeine in that soda will shoot your blood sugar so high. And I learned that the hard way. But yeah, so no dark sodas. The last time I had a dark soda, oh man, I I snuck and had one about 3 months ago because I was craving it so bad. But before
All
that, it had
right.
been about a year and a half. And I was like, oh
All
my
right.
God,
You
it's so
cheated a
good.
little
My blood
bit.
sugar. I did. I cheated.
Yeah. All right. All right. Sometimes you've got to. I've been on a low carb diet. Low carb diet. I don't necessarily call it the keto diet because, I don't follow it totally with all the fats, but I call it a low carb diet. So I try to keep my carbs down too. So I can relate and understand a little bit how to keep the carbs down, and so I watch my carbs. But man, I can only imagine because of with the understanding I have with trying to keep a low carb diet, man, that's got to be difficult because it's
Yeah.
it is pretty hard to regulate that on a daily basis. Man, regulate it.
Yeah.
That brings me back to an old school song by was that Warren G. Regulators? But anyway, don't get me started. It's
Yeah.
old old school hip hop. Anyway, but just it's that's not easy to do. So you've got to watch your diabetes. You've got to watch your what you're eating with your diabetes, and you got to watch what you're doing with your diabetes. With your kidney disease, with your phosphorus, and your binders don't always work the way they should, even though you're compliant. You may be taking it like you should, or hopefully, right?
I am.
All right, all right, all right. Okay. But what other people don't quite understand and how this affects you socially. So you've mentioned a little bit how you're fatigued. That's naturally how it makes you tired. How does it affect you socially? Like when you're trying to plan something with your family or trying to go out with with your homies or something. How does that affect your social life?
The only thing that it really affects me, like I could still go out with him, things like that. But
Yeah.
the one thing that affects me the most is driving. Like when I try to drive back home, sometimes I
Uh-huh.
get really tired now. And it used to be I used to make that drive all the time back and forth to Greensboro when I was in school the first
Uh-huh.
time. So it was like nothing for me. But now driving back home, and if I try to drive back home after dialysis, I have to stop in like Mebane, which is like 30 minutes from here, and take a
Uh-huh.
break because my legs will get to cramping so bad. And then sometimes, even if it's an off day and I'm driving back home or anywhere like that, if I'm in the car more than 30 minutes, it's like my body starts to hurt from me sitting upright. So me
Yeah.
sitting around with like a group of friends, I start to hurt just sitting down. Like so I have to lay down or I can't sit long or I have to go home to my mom's. Like it's a lot. So it's really a lot. So I try like when I go out, I'm fine as long as I'm standing. I know that's weird. Like I can be in heels standing and everything or in sneakers standing, I'm fine. But if I sit down, I start hurting really bad. So that's the only thing that really affects my social life because when we get together, we're mostly sitting down. So
Right. Okay.
that
Okay.
kind of makes it hard to sit for such a long period of time.
You know yourself though. That's good though, because you know
Yeah.
you know your limitations. You got to take a break sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going, taking that drive, and all of a sudden you're cramping up, and you got to take a break. But the man, oh my gosh, you can only imagine how badly those cramps must make you feel. it's,
Yeah. And
oh my
it's
gosh.
not that I'm getting too much fluid pulled off because I have a max when I'm there at
All right. All
dialysis.
right.
My max
Uh huh.
is 3 liters to get pulled each time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I usually sometimes I just cramp. It doesn't matter if I pull too much or too little. I can only pull sometimes I can pull just a liter and go home and have cramps in the middle of the night. So I really never know how it's gonna affect me. Most days I'm fine, but every once
Yeah.
in a while, I say about once a month I have a bad day where I cramp really bad and it like wakes me up out of my sleep. But other than that, mostly it's okay. I'm dealing, I guess you can say.
Yeah. For sure, man. You've got those boxing gloves on, right? I mean, you're coping, you're dealing, you're bobbing and weaving, man. You're taking the blows as they come. But whether it's the cramping or the fatigued or whatever it might be, or just feeling the effects of diabetes. I'm impressed, and again, I'm very very aware of how difficult this disease is and how it can make you feel. Sometimes, as you put it before, it's a roller coaster. It's the peaks and valleys, right? Your highs, your
Yeah.
lows. Um, Sometimes you have a good day, you've gotten good rest, and all of a sudden you feel almost, maybe just just a glimmer of what it may be like to feel how you used to feel, on a normal day
Yeah.
before you had maybe kidney disease, maybe just when you had type 1 but not kidney disease, and then all of a sudden you start feeling fatigued again. So there's some peaks and valleys, and it many of these people that are watching tonight, they understand that because they're going through what you're going through. And then you have people that maybe see what you're going through, and they're almost proxy going through it because they see that. Small things to a giant, Jessica saying, and so there are, many, there are small things that, that can become big boulders, and those big boulders could become mountains, right? And
Right.
what are some things that maybe you use, to overcome these peaks and valleys? What are some things that maybe you've drawn from to keep yourself, energized, and put your arms on your hips and be strong, or put those boxing gloves on and say, I'm gonna overcome this today, and even though this is hard, I'm gonna do this. Some people pull from faith. They become stronger and they read scriptures, they pray. Some people listen to music. What do you use? And you put your earbuds on and listen to music? What do you do to get some strength and to get up that day when you're down?
Um, I don't usually feel down as soon as I wake up, but sometimes I may have an attitude for no reason. But
Yeah, all right, yeah.
um, I pray, I listen to music. I used to draw a lot, but I don't really do that anymore. I used to sew, don't really do that anymore either. Um, but now my biggest thing to keep my mind busy, to not think about it, is to clean. Like, so sometimes I'll
All
intentionally
right.
leave a mess so I can get up out the bed and have something to
Uh-huh.
do. So yeah, I'll clean or I'll walk my dog because that's really all I do. I try to keep it really clean in here because I have him, so I don't
Yeah.
want him eating anything or laying on my clothes on the floor. But that's mostly all I do now: clean up, walk the dog.
All
So
right, all
that's what I do
right.
to keep my mind
Yeah.
going. Oh, and listen to music and pray, of course, like I already said. But that's all I really
Absolutely.
do. I don't really
Very
do
nice.
anything else.
All right, I like that. Some people, I've heard stories of other people wanting to like cook or bake, and that's they channel their sort of release that way to get their stress off, and yours is maybe just to clean. I've heard that too, kudos to you to finding something that helps you kind of feel better about yourself. Whatever it is, it's good to find something that can keep yourself balanced. Balance is good. I
Yeah,
listen. Sometimes I'll put some music on. Whatever it may be to get me up. And some music.
yeah,
I'd like to think I listen to some dope beats. Some hot joints. And stuff like that. But my 9-year-old thinks I'm pretty corny with the music I listen to, but that's okay. I think his YouTube videos are corny. But man,
sometimes I watch YouTube and things too,
right
and
on.
sometimes I'll like play in my hair. Like I'll
Yeah,
play in my wigs. I have a lot of different wigs, so I'll do
there
that
you
too.
go.
Or watch tutorials on how to make them. So I make them sometimes.
Right? I
So
mean, isn't
yeah,
it insane if
that's what I
these
do.
it's insane about what these YouTube people will watch and what they do on
Yeah,
these YouTube videos. That's awesome that you're
yeah.
watching those things. Yeah. All
I've learned
right.
a lot
So
from YouTube.
yeah, I mean, man, if I've got something going on, I've got to learn how to do something about something that's somewhat simple. Okay, I'll watch a YouTube video. It's crazy what we can use and learn from YouTube. And I mean, we've had one listener and watcher tonight. I'm going to go back to find the comment here, but we've had one person watching, Cornelia, who's watching from our YouTube channel, Urban Health Outreach Media Network. So, hey, sweetie, good to see you, Uncle David and Cornelia. So we've got somebody
Hey.
watching from our YouTube channel already. And so YouTube can be a powerful thing. People can watch how to learn things, and it's connected to Google. So whenever you use Google, which we all use, and we type in there how to do this, how to do that, if there's a video, it's connected, and you can watch a YouTube video about it. So it's very, very informative. And so, the cool thing about coming together as today watching this show, and then we're going to have people rewatch this on the replay, okay, is that we can share this and we can come together, and many people watching this and coming together, we can become strong. Man, I don't have the gun show that maybe other people have, but we can be strong together, right? And when we do that, we can do great
Right.
things. Yeah, that's right. We can do great things. All right. And so please come together, share this for Deanna. All right. She's got a lot of strength and endurance. She's been through so much. She's an overcomer. But becoming, one together, and we're unified, we can become much stronger than we are alone. And so please continue to share this. We can get her story out there by reaching more people that maybe have never watched this before. Is the idea. Man, it's crazy that some people have come forward in the past for other people that have watched something that someone has shown or shared, and that they're like maybe some high school friend or junior high school friend or elementary school friend, all right, and they've never, and someone shared it and hadn't been connected to this person in years. And so sharing is powerful. Sharing, I know it sounds corny, but sharing is caring. All right, it's a cliche, but it works. It does. All right, and it's powerful. Says flex your spirit. She's putting in here beautiful testimony. Flex your spiritual and physical muscles. And then Maisha, she's putting you're an inspiration. So thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting and watching the show tonight. She says, I pray that this reach the right people and find your donor. Amen. I want to reach the right people too. And that's what we could do together. Okay, people, I'm going to put it on here again. All right, I'm going to put it on here again, but let's make some noise. Okay, please comment. Please share. Let's get this thing rolling so that we can get more energy, more people reaching the other people that have never watched the show before. All right, Star Trek wants to boldly go where man has never gone before. And I want to go where no person has found a living kidney donor before. All right, that's where I want to go. For you, Deanna, we can do this. Okay, just share it. It's easy to click on the share button, and we can hopefully find somebody who has never watched the show before, maybe someone who has never watched or has never known that she has a need for a kidney donor. That's what we can do. It's a powerful thing, the internet. Okay, let's do this for you. We've got many people watching, 35 people now, many people that will watch this afterwards. I know that many people have shared. Anybody who's shared tonight, I want to thank you. All right, and this is not Photoshop. This is someone who is that beautiful. Deanna is beautiful. And we want to be able to, you're welcome. We want to be able to get this out there for this beautiful young woman. And I know that we can do this together. So please continue to share this. But man, if we're coming close to the end of the show, but I want to keep this going as much as we can. When you think about the people that are in your corner, people that support you, maybe people that give you strength, what are some people that do that for you? Friends, family, maybe girlfriends, maybe cousins, aunties, uncles. Who do you have that's in your corner that maybe you want to shout out right now?
My mom and my loving cousin
Right
Maya for
on.
finding me that day I had my stroke. I love you so much forever. My roommate that was also our roommate at the time, Bree. I love you so much forever. All of my old classmates, my friends, of course, because they know firsthand what I be going through because I tell them all the time. And of course, my mom too. I tell them, and my dad, love you all so much.
Nice.
And everybody watching, I love you all too. And I love you all for sharing.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that we're sharing. It is extremely important to reach more people that we share. Sharing is caring, and we can reach more people. And the idea is to reach as many people for her as possible. All right. So please continue to do that. Man, I'm so happy we did this tonight, Deanna. Again, it's my pleasure. I'm the one who's benefited the most. It's God's plan. All right. Through the grace of God, we got connected tonight. And I'm thankful for that. So God bless you. Again, I'm so many other people that have been on the Warriors Quest show. I've interviewed previously have gone on, okay, to get a kidney transplant. I'm so very amped that you're on the show because I'm thankful that I've interviewed you and I'm confident that you're going to get connected to the right person. And when that happens, please hit me up. All right, let me know.
Okay.
Shout out at me and let me know and say, hey, Jared, I got a kidney or I'm going to get a kidney transplant. Let me know, and we'd love to have you on again once that happens, or just shout at me and let me know because, man, it's God works in mysterious ways, but there are so many people that have been on the show that have gone on to be kidney transplant recipients. And, it's God's work, it's God's plan. And I'm so excited that you've been on this show so that, hopefully God continues to work with you so that this happens for you. And when that does, hit me up, okay?
Okay. I actually have a friend. I forgot to shout her out. I don't know if I should, but she's actually getting tested. She got tested
All right.
today to see if she's
Yeah.
my match, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want anybody to
Okay.
know.
You don't
But
have to
she knows
say
who
name.
she is, and I love her so
Yeah.
much.
Right. All right. Very nice. So shout out to the person that's testing. Please pray, everyone, for the person that's testing so that things can continue to go well. And I'm going to, before I say peace, I'm going to put on the comment, the original comment at the beginning, when I first put this out there. Bear with me a moment. Where did it go? All right. Maybe it's too far out there. I can't find it. But anyway, there's a comment that I put on the show. It's in the comment section for you, Deanna, for your transplant hospital. It's Duke, right?
Yes.
Is that so? You're connected to your transplant hospital. It's at Duke. I've put that in the comment section. So please, anybody who feels compassionate enough, you feel stirred, you feel moved, and you want to be able to donate for her, please look in the comment section. You can click on the link. There's a survey that you can take to make sure that you're a good match. Please do so. Okay, many people live very normal lives when they become a living kidney donor, and then many people become kidney transplant recipients through the grace of God because of your work. And that's what I'm asking, so that somebody can come forward for Deanna. Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Please continue to smile. Live your life as positive as you can. And please have a blessed evening, okay?
You too.
All right. Thank you again. Thanks for coming on the Warriors Quest show. God bless you. Continue to be blessed. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Peace. All right, everybody. We've heard from a beautiful young woman, Deanna Satterwhite. She has a great story. She's overcome so much already. Man, did you really understand? She's gone through a stroke. All right. She's type 1 diabetic. All right. And has kidney disease. She's overcome so much. Please come together, flex your muscles. All right. And please share this message so that we can reach the right person who feels stirred, compassionate enough to become a living kidney donor. That's what I'm looking for. I appreciate you following. I appreciate you watching tonight. All right, because we've had a great number of people watching tonight. We've had a little over 40 people watching tonight. That's a great turnout. Okay, that sets her up for success. Many people are going to be watching this on a replay. Many people, please start a watch party. You don't have to start a watch party tonight. You can start a watch party tomorrow. You can start a watch party next week. Please continue to share this. because this is the way that we can get the story out there and reach more people. So I'm very thankful for this opportunity to do this so that I can connect with kidney warriors and get their stories told, get their voice heard. So very thankful for that. All right, I'm going to play an outro, but before I do that, I want to say thank you, all right, for the Urban Health Outreach Media Network, Steve Belcher, Tamika Gaines. I may be saying the last name wrong. Please forgive me, Tamika. All right, because without their help, I wouldn't be able to do this show. All right, please stay tuned tonight because the Urban Health Outreach Media Network, we're going to be doing another show tonight. So stay tuned for that. And understand that I've got Steve Belcher's back. All right. One of the things that I noticed recently is he went live under his own feed on Facebook. He had over 75 people watching, which is outstanding. But there were some people that were commenting that didn't understand totally and grasp the magnitude of what he was talking about. He asked just recently, okay, how would you feel if the dialysis center was just in your neighborhood? Okay, he wasn't necessarily stating that dialysis centers are bad. Okay, what he's trying to state, okay, and the point he was trying to make is that because there isn't enough awareness, there isn't enough education about high blood pressure, about diabetes, and about kidney disease, all right, that there are way too many dialysis centers popping up in and around urban communities. And that's why we need to do more education. That's why we need to get the information out there. Okay, if we get more information out there and we can prevent kidney disease, then we won't have these dialysis centers popping up like Walgreens, like 7-Elevens, whatever. And we can make sure that it's not happening all over, especially in the urban communities. Okay, so if you're somebody who may have had a negative comment towards Steve Belcher, and if you didn't understand what he's talking about, okay, make like your cell phone in the movie theater and put yourself on silent, because he does more in the kidney disease community than anybody else I know. Thank you, Steve Belcher. Thanks for Urban Kidney Alliance. All right, peace. I'm out. Love you all. Oh, I got an outro. Hold on.
I've been walking beneath streetlights. I've been walking, cause I can't find peace on these nights. I've been walking, but my strides are getting slower. Still I'm walking, but I don't know where I'm going. I've been looking for love, but only found deception. Told my secrets to some people who have not kept them.